Introducing NASM One, NASM's ultimate membership program. Unlock access to everything your fitness career needs to succeed. Unlimited CEUs, free courses, access to our premium app, and exclusive discounts, all for $35 a month. NASM One is best-in-class tools, cutting-edge certifications, confidence in your craft, and everything you do as a personal trainer made easy, so we can achieve our greatest goals together as one.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining this week on the Master Instructor Roundtable. I'm Marty Miller with my co-host and fellow Master Instructor, Wendy Batts. Wendy, how's it going?
I am good, Marty. How are you?
Good. I'm excited for today's topic because you're going to see a lot of the things that I snack on. But I think also, this time of year too, snacking is very important, and having some management within your calories, but also knowing where you can kind of hijack and sneak some things in that you may like that you didn't really know that were healthy, or kind of, a newer version of something, I think is always a fun way, to get those calories in and keep yourself on the right track.
Yeah, I always find these interesting, especially when you're like, let's do one on healthy snacks, because I'm just going to be 100% clear with everyone. My healthy snacks are whatever. I'm all about fruits, which I know is high in sugar. But that is my go-to. So I did not include that on the PowerPoint because fruit is fruit. And which one I am more of a berry person because I'm allergic to citrus. So there's your fun fact about Wendy. I can't eat grapefruits. I can't eat oranges, can't drink orange juice, can't have some of the fun things that I can't have watermelon, can't have avocados, Marty.
That's the one that kills me right there. You lost me there.
So now you guys know a lot about my personal information, but little fun facts that's why we do these things. And the healthy snacks, some of them, Marty, that you put on here, I'm like, I haven't tried that. So I was actually, it was very interesting for me to see what you eat. And then of course, I did throw a couple in there as well. So let's get started.
Yeah, these are a couple of them, but we'll get through it. But so of course, we want to discuss planned snacking versus snacking. So are you hungry? Is it part of your calories? Like, you guys can tell I'm not home today. I had to travel. So I purposely brought things with me that I know I like, because you don't know what you're going to run into. And I try to eat them when I'm hungry, not just to snack. I think that's key. And then, being prepared for success. As I said, I knew I was traveling today. So, you don't know what you're going to find in the airport. A lot of the food's processed. There's hidden calories. So that's where I'm always traveling. It's like almost like, I've got a goodie bag with me at all times. And then of course, we're going to discuss our favorite snacks, or some of them.
Yes. And I looking at this picture, I have to giggle because I've yet to see carrots that look like that, with the little sprouts that are that perfect. I've never seen
Egypt. When I was in Egypt, that's exactly what they were.
We'll see. We apparently got this picture from Egypt, y'all, because I've literally in the States never seen that. But I will tell you this, when you're looking at this picture, love cucumbers and love peppers, love crunching, anything that's crunchy, but oftentimes that's also mixed with ranch. So what not to do is use ranch.
Hummus. There you go. We already fixed you, Wendy.
Oh, there we have it. So yeah, I'll take this one, Marty, because I know a lot of the ones that we're coming up with, especially when we get to some of the jerkies, is all you. But I think it's important, and you kind of said this, are you snacking versus snacking? And so there's a difference between, are you hungry? Are you eating just to eat because you're stressed? It's something to do. You're bored. That's when I know myself, I'm sitting down and I'm like, oh, this is available. And if you're not careful and you don't portion out some of these, especially if they come into a big bag, that's where I personally get in trouble. And I know that's also a thing with my clients where they're like, oh my gosh, this is just there. I ate the whole bag, versus getting a small bowl and then portioning things out. So when you're thinking about a snack, it's generally defined as any food eaten between your main meals. So we usually say have 3 main meals a day. Now, if you work with an RD, they may have switched that. If you're doing intermittent fasting, that might change how many big meals you have because you're doing calorie restrictions. However, snacking or just a little, it should be just that. It shouldn't be another meal within a meal that you're not counting as a main meal. So I think that's important when we define that. And if we go back and look at some of the other one, most people do snack at least once during the day, but that's when you need to know your reasons why. Why are you snacking? Is it because you had a light breakfast? Is it something that you have planned out because you have your meal plan and that is part of the calories that you need to have? But market research in the US shows that most common snack choices are fruit, yay, fruits, cookies, yes, chips, yes, ice cream, yes, candy, popcorn, soft drinks, crackers, cake, milk, nuts, seeds, tea, and yogurt. Now, some of those are not bad choices. Some of them are not great choices. However, if you have a 7-year-old, those choices are probably around you more than not. And they've been associated both with weight gain and maintaining weight. So you have to think about the quality of what you're eating and what type of diet or what type of nutrition plan you're on personally, because we're all different.
Yeah, and I love to snack. Like it's something I look forward to. So I purposely, like at dinner time, I know that if I'm eating around 5 or 6, that around 7:30 or so, I'm going to want a snack. So I purposely look at my calories and I plan my dinner accordingly because that's just something that I enjoy doing. And then you'll see what some of the snacks are. But, it's not like eat a nice dinner and then, oh, by the way, I want a snack at the end. It's a planned thing because I know me.
The desserts, is that snacking or?
I'll show you some. We'll talk about it. So let's keep moving forward. So I'll jump in here. So there's benefits to snacking too. Like there you go. There's some of like the avocado type toast looking things that I would eat. But it does provide a boost of energy, right? There's definitely times where you just need that little pick me up, especially if you eat the right types of foods. It can help curb your appetite to prevent overeating at your next meal. It can, right? You got to be careful with it. And then you get those extra nutrients when choosing certain snacks like fresh fruit or nuts. And then can absolutely help maintain adequate nutrition if somebody has poor appetite but cannot eat full meals, such as due to illness. So this is all coming from Harvard. So, by no means is snacking bad. It's just you have to be very calculated and understand it.
Yes. And think about how many. I think one of the problems that we've seen, Marty, we've had dietitians on, we've had nutritionists on, and we underestimate how many calories we're eating throughout the day. So if you're on let's say a female and you're at 1,500 calories and you're eating 3 big meals a day and you're snacking, you have to be very, very specific and measure it out. Like I used to measure out everything that I ate when I was on, I wanted to see how low of body fat I could get. And I wanted to hit a certain number, literally would get cups and measure everything out. And I had a scale for my meat, had scales for everything. I don't do that anymore. I can't say I've thrown up my hands. However, I do know that when you are going to snack, if you have those choices available, and I know we're going to go through some of the actual healthy snacks, but if you have them available and they're not already pre-portioned, I want to emphasize the importance of doing that ahead of time. So when you are on the go, you can just grab a baggie and head out the door and you don't have to think about it. And you're not grabbing the entire bag and then overestimating how many calories you think you ate that day.
Yeah, it's all about planning for sure. There's no question about that. And we'll go through some of this even when the snacks that I pick, because it is pre-portioned. So off we go moving forward to show some of like now what we could call the pitfalls, right? Because, Wendy, to your point, I always say most people overestimate their calorie expenditure by double and they underestimate their calorie consumption by half, right? So you got to get people to understand that. So of course, it could be some pitfalls when you're looking at snacking. So we'll show some of those here. Unwanted weight gain if the portion or frequency is too much. And there is just that mindless snacking that people have when they sit down at a TV or in front of a computer or under stress. It can reduce hunger at mealtimes, or it cause one to skip a meal entirely, which then it increases the loss of hopefully getting those key important nutrients you would have had at a healthy meal. And then there could be these ultra processed, hyper palatable snacks that contain added salt, sugar, and fats, lower in nutrients, higher in calories, and can increase that type of food preference, leading to the bad behavior. And last night I was in my kitchen, with one of my son's friends, and he grabbed his peanut butter, I would say, because he had it with him. It was a processed generic, I'm not going to name the brand. And I had my, I guess you would call it bougie peanut butter. So I said, hey, read the ingredients. And lo and behold, my ingredients was peanuts and sea salt. His was peanuts then sugar, and then a term he couldn't use and say. And then we compared the calories, and his was 15 calories more per serving, but it also had that processed stuff in there that kind of creates that repetitive eating. So that was just a simple, look at something like peanut butter. So, those are the things you got to be careful of. And that's where when I, show the snacks that I like, these are the things I try to go through. But then there's some convenience. You have to have something that can not melt in Florida where I live and travel, but we'll go through that.
If you can't pronounce it, probably shouldn't eat it.
Agreed.
However, yeah, we won't go there.
Right. So this is one of my go-tos. Now, we're not promoting any one company. No one's been in contact with us to put these out there. This is just something that I use. So, back in the day, we all loved a good Pop-Tart, but I think that's
What do you mean back in the day?
I think that's an oxymoron when I said good. And when I say good, I'm talking about nutrition, not taste. But Legendary came out with these Pop-Tarts. I love the cinnamon and brown sugar. They have a couple different chocolate flavors I'll eat. But if you look at it, the carbs there, and then with the amount of fiber, and then you've got 20 grams of protein, low saturated fat, no trans fat. So, it's still 180 calories. But if you're as active as I am during the day, and if this is what, that snack at the end of the night, maybe, hopefully it's not right at the end of the night, or maybe midday, you could do a lot worse. And something that has 4 grams net carbs, 20 grams of protein, tastes amazing. You can heat it up if you want, but they travel well too, which is great because, you do have to be careful of like a lot of protein bars melting.
Yes. And I've had that happen. If you guys have ever put bars in your bag and traveled and you don't remember that the bar is in the bag until the next day and it's all melted onto whatever you have in your bag, it is definitely not a fun experience. So I have not tried these. Now the Pop-Tarts, I will say, yes, I have tried. Again, 7-year-old. I'm just going to keep repeating that because
get them on these.
You know what? I when I saw it, I was like, we may have to try these, but that I think it's something. I'm all about the Pop-Tart because once again, easy to travel. You don't have to warm it up. I will eat every flavor. And today on the Master Instructor Roundtable, Marty Miller and myself, Wendy Batts, are talking about healthy snacks. More Marty talking about his healthy snacks and me talking about how I'm failing at my healthy snack choices these days. But yeah, Legendary. I'm going to try it. So the protein pastry it is. What do we have next, Marty? Oh, geez. Here we go.
Hey, I had to put avocado. Just ignore it. Just because you're allergic, don't be a hater. No, I was joking. Now, avocado is one of those healthiest foods on the planet type of things. Like it is truly an essential thing if you're not Wendy, and it would cause anaphylactic shock. But there are some different types of toasts out there that are very healthy, or like crackers, but you could even do avocado and cottage cheese. I put a little of everything, but from the bagel, like seasoning from Trader Joe's, or pepper. You could do a couple of different things to spice it up. You could throw even, a little buffalo sauce in there. They even have an avocado based buffalo sauce now that's really healthy. So any of these combinations, you're eating something that's very, very healthy. With the toast, I need a bit of carbohydrates and fiber to make me feel full. So, I do find the better versions of that, like Ezekiel bread or keto type bread. But to me, this could be a meal, but I absolutely love it when I'm a little bit more hungry, but don't want to have a full meal. You guys know me and my avocado toast.
I can't even comment, but moving on. Moving on to the next one. This one we can.
I just had some of this. So if you like cereal, if you like that texture and that crunch and that taste, again, they have multiple flavors of it. My go-to on this one, again, is the cinnamon. I'm normally a chocolate guy, but I think the cinnamon tastes much more natural than the chocolate. I do like the chocolate. They have a couple other flavors that are great. You can actually get it at Costco right now, double the size bag for even less money. It's ridiculous. So I always go through the shopping line at Costco with like 5 of them because I'm waiting for them to not sell them anymore. But it seems like it's going to be something that's always in. So I had a little Ziploc bag as I traveled, just as like a handful snack. So you can use it as a crunchy type of thing. You can I use almond milk if I want cereal with it. I've thrown it into some of my healthier yogurts. So it really becomes kind of like, something you can use in multiple ways, but 0 sugar. And then you got 9 grams of fiber, 11 grams of protein, only 5 grams of net carbs. Now, yes, you could overeat it, of course, but when you look at the right serving size and you're looking for something that feels and tastes like a treat, I'm a big fan of the cinnamon Catalina Crunch.
My favorite is that the comparison between that and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because I am a huge Cinnamon Toast Crunch fan. So this will definitely be one that I will try, because if it is comparing it, then it has to have some sort of the same taste, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm a crunchy kind of person. I love things that crunch.
Yes. So you will like this. You're going to have to report back to me on both of these. Now, have you seen these before?
No. Sandwich rounds, everything but the carbs. Now, the marketing on this is phenomenal.
Right. So again, shockingly, I found these also at Costco. So they're made out of cauliflower. So it's a cauliflower flat. You'll see these popping up elsewhere. Outer Aisle is the brand that I run into the most. It's basically cauliflower with a little bit of Parmesan cheese and a few other ingredients. But if you're looking for something from like a toasty standpoint, one of the things that I'll do with this, I'll get a salmon burger, like a salmon patty, and I'll use the cauliflower rounds or the, as like the sandwich. So, or, in the morning I'll put avocado on it. So it's just something that acts similar to like a bread or a toast. I've also had them toasted and cut up into like little quarters, like pita, and dip it in like that avocado buffalo sauce, or, some people have even used cottage cheese on it. So they have a lot of different flavors at Costco. It's just the standard one there on the that you see the outer aisle facing you. But I've noticed at some of the more specialty grocery stores, you'll find some of the other flavors, like the everything Italian, jalapeno, and the original. But these I always have stocked in my freezer, because sometimes I just want a little something. I put peanut butter on it. Some people said that might not be the right. It works for me, but I'm a peanut butter guy all the way. But there's a lot. What's that?
So gross.
Oh, whatever.
Peanut butter to me is just disturbing.
I feel bad for you, Wendy. You can't eat peanut butter and you can't eat avocados.
I can't eat peanut butter.
Oh,
I choose not to. The smell is just...
You don't know what you're missing. I'm just saying.
Well, and like you said, looking at different jars. Now, I know there's the healthier side, but when you've got the oil that's all on the top and you've got to mix it in.
But that's... Wendy, let's pause a second. That's what it should do. The stuff like the Jif and Peter Pan that doesn't separate.
Right.
That's a problem.
I know, but the whole fact that there's like, you have to mix it in. My husband he will eat peanut butter out of a jar and then come and talk to me. And I'm like, whoop, can't just, go and brush your teeth and then we'll have a conversation.
It's okay. I feel bad for you. It's just, I really do, because you're missing out.
That's why I go to fruit, Marty. Fruit and yogurt and granola. Those are my go-to.
But what's better than a banana and peanut butter, Wendy?
All right, Elvis, let's move on.
Hey, he had bacon with his. I didn't go there.
Now, these I can say I have eaten. I do love these. And I've had the ones, this is the chocolate, the double chocolate muffin. They do make different ones. They have blueberry, there's cranberries. I don't know if it's cran apple or
there's
just
a
cranberry.
Chocolate banana chip. Now, the reason I put this one up, Wendy, is that I know this for certain. I could not find the back of the chocolate. What you see here is that there are some with added sugar. Okay. So when you look at these, be careful. Now, if this was your little snack for the day, or right before you go run, obviously there's going to be some things throughout the day that you can have a little bit added sugar. You got to take that in the totality, but I purposely try to stay away from any added sugar, because like when I'm on the road tonight, if I go to dinner, I don't know what they're putting in their sauces, So my mindset is I try to get everything with zero added sugar. The chocolate one, for whatever reason, has zero added sugar. So the blueberry one, I think, is this one with the added sugar. So you just got to keep an eye on it. Don't just say, hey, anything they make is going to have no sugar in it. But there are a few that have zero added sugar, but it's all vegetables. I mean, there's a lot of other nutrients in there for sure.
And this is actually one that if you have clients that crave chocolate and they are like, I need to have something sweet, because I am that person too. I love sweets. And I will choose sweet over salty, even though I love like salty chips and all that as well. But this is one that we will tell them, hey, if you really need that something chocolate, get this type of muffin. Or, there are some things that kind of will make your mind feel like you're having this big chocolate snack or a piece of cake or whatever it is. So just know that there's some options out there.
And for those of you, unlike Wendy, who appreciate peanut butter, a little smear of peanut butter on a hot muffin, just saying.
Or icing. I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you can go, okay, here's your assignment. You go find us icing that we can present on Healthy Snacks too, and we will discuss it.
I just said try to make it like a cake, but okay.
Hey, I have a feeling we're going to do healthy snacks too. So that is now your assignment, is to find, and maybe it's even a homemade icing. There's got to be something out
So
there.
I love like the organic. Like I said, I'm a big granola fan. So I try to find, because I look for things that have fiber
Right.
and things that I can eat. So because that's what I noticed in my personal diet that I'm missing and lacking when I look at my macronutrients and I look at my kind of just distribution of what I'm eating. So that's how I fulfill different things. But
Right.
I'm going to say this too, Marty, when you put this on here, I'm like rosemary turkey sticks. So I don't know what it is. We cannot really hang out if we just are snacking together, because like jerkies, any type of jerky, it just is weird to me. Here's a beef stick, and I don't care what the beef part of it is, or turkey stick. So why don't you tell us about this?
I had 2 of these today on the plane. They're phenomenal. These are smaller size, the ones I get from Costco. But again, the key thing is, if you look at it, it's 100% natural. Like, so it's not just processed meat, things like that with lots of sodium. And the rosemary just gives it a nice little hint of, kind of a good taste, like you're just seasoning something. Again, if I'm going to eat meat, do I enjoy more grilled chicken and salmons? Of course. But, like
potatoes.
Yeah, Wendy, we have a lot to talk about, Wendy.
Hey, again, I always tell people, I'm not your nutritionist.
Right.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Now, again, you don't have to eat 6 of these a day. Like, so in my pantry, some days I grab the protein stick, or this, because I need something that is a little more protein, or, I want a little taste of something else. So I have a lot of snacks around. Like I said, I'll have the keto crunch or the Catalina crunch and things like that. But, these are good. They travel well. You've got a long shelf life with them. Then they're not high in sodium compared to other jerky type of products. So I'm not saying that you should eat these every single day, but there's just that time where setting yourself up for success. If you're sitting at your desk and you could grab one of these versus go to the vending machine and buy, those processed crackers with cheese or whatever, you're going to do a lot better. So, I wanted to give people different options, because we all have different palates and different taste buds. But to me, this is another one where I was pleasantly surprised, because I don't love the jerkies because they can tend to be too salty. So this was the one where I'm like, okay, this checks a box. This is one of the few that I could eat.
I'll try it, Marty.
There you go, Costco.
Well, so our key takeaways. First of all, you need a Costco membership if you're going to.
Without a doubt.
Or if not, you need to find a friend.
They got great peanut butter there too, Wendy.
Yeah, but a lot of these you can find at some, and we say specialty, but you can find a lot of these at Whole Foods. You can find these at Fresh Market. You can even find these in
Amazon
grocery stores on Amazon. Everything is on Amazon. But you have to really think to yourself, why are you snacking? And are you snacking because you're bored? You're snacking because you're hungry? You're snacking because it's within your meal plan? And just make sure that you have the notion of why you're eating, because eating while you're bored, or eating because it's convenient, or not portioning things out, that is the wrong way to go. And that's where you're going to start, or your clients will start gaining weight, and they're going to start complaining. And some of these clients that I have, they don't want to eat. They'll starve themselves all day, and they're saving their calories for one big meal. And you want to try to think about the gas and gasoline in the gas tank. You want to try to make sure that you're always topped off at full, because then you're not going to be so hungry at night. So I think that's really important too. And that's when snacking can come into play in a very good way, as long as you have that plan. So make sure that you are planning for success. Make sure that you're paying attention to the serving sizes and the calories. Easy to overestimate and easy to say, oh, I just had one of these. But, when you look at the serving size, it was for half of whatever it was. So just be very, very cautious when you're looking at labels, and then just snack and be happy with whatever it is that you're putting in your mouth. Don't just have it to have if you don't like it. Find other healthy options, because as you can see, Marty chose things I would not have chosen, but it's good because it opens up my eyes. Like, you know what, maybe I should try this or give this another go, with the exception of the avocado. So don't just put empty calories in. Don't just go around and drink. But there's also, of course, the protein shakes, any kind of protein bars that are high in protein, but low in sugar. Look for those. They're out there. If you're part, we know that you guys are probably coming in on the NASM side. We are partnered with .fit, so you get a big discount through our portal. So just kind of look and find out what's right for you, especially with the new year coming up.
Yeah, and then if you do it wisely, your snacking can actually add value and add nutrients and really elevate your goals from a nutrition and health standpoint, where most people view snacking as a bad thing. I don't. I love it. I look forward to it, and I just plan them out. And then that way, it's something that I get to do, I enjoy, and I find ways to keep it healthy.
Very nice. So if you have questions, you want to contact Marty. But if you have other questions that are not on this topic, you can always contact me at wendy.batts13 on Instagram, or you can email me at wendy.batts@nasm.org.
And reach out to me here. Instagram is dr.martymiller72, and my email is marty.miller@nasm.org. And I'm almost thinking, do I go on Instagram and put a poll on, and if it's big enough, does Wendy have to eat peanut butter, a taste of it, live on the Master Instructor Roundtable? I think that would be awesome.
Hey, I am happy to do that, but my facial expressions and the gagging and then what happens afterwards, that's fair game. That comes along with it.
You're not going into it with a positive outlook.
Because there's nothing, I won't even eat a Reese's peanut butter cup. I find even those appalling. And everyone is,
Wendy, everyone's got to have a fault. We finally found yours. So with that being said, thank you all for joining today. We hope you go out there and have some wonderful snacks. Give us some ideas if we missed something. And of course, we look forward to seeing you next week on the Master Instructor Roundtable.